Guys, I basically use Z since few months and I completely stopped to use cursor. I really hate now this IDU. I already make about some video about this, but today I will share you why I choose Z over cursor and why, despite maybe your fear or some element that make you like, no, I don't want to leave this beautiful VS Code fork for Z. In this video, I will show you that maybe it will be a really great option for your development for workflow. So first, let's check the Z landing page. Love your editor again. I love this headline because with cursor and basically VS Code, I create a love-hate relationship. It's like, I love a lot of things, I have all my habits, but it's changed so much. There is so much slop with this try.ia that is terrible, with this anti-gravity that is terrible, and all of this experience make basically my cursor experience work. Let's love our IDE again. Why? Because first, Z is completely different, from VS Code. It's right in Rust, it's efficient, and it's used CPU and GPU to be as fast as it can be. Since the beginning of this project, not since GPT 3.5, since the beginning, intelligence LLM is in the middle of the product and it's everywhere. And this collaborative feature. Okay, so this is the basic. It's basically an idea creating by an amazing team that some of developers that make Atom, some of developers that make VS Code leave this company to create this master class. This master class that I hope will replace VS Code fork in your workflow. So a lot of people use it, blah, blah, blah. And as you can say, Z just works. Incredible, powerful out of the box, and it gets better every week. There is always a new version. So a lot of relays, but not relays like cursor. No, we don't have this kind of button that, like, they say they fix it and they didn't fix it. What the hell is this? I have no word about this. Okay, so no thousand of button, no settings. Like we have cursor settings, but we have also VS Code settings. So how to open VS Code settings. Now we have VS Code settings, cursor settings, but we have also layout settings. And now I can show anyway, we will not go inside this argument. Z just work. It's simple. There is a lot of feature, Vim and everything you want. So I will show you the difference and why I like it and why you can completely use it. So first thing, so I have an agent working a bit on the side. Don't look at him, okay? So here we have the Explorer. So the Explorer is exactly like what you can have in VS Code with some file like this. Here with in VS Code we have the file and the button here. Here we have the file and the button on the top, on the bottom. And here we have the code with this default Z theme that I really like, so no need to change anything. So here we have the file. And as you can see, the first thing we can check when we compare both page is by default, the number of buttons that we have is crazy difference. So about the Explorer, here we have in cursor a lot of buttons here. So here to switch in a lot of mode. Here we have a lot of button, and in Z we only have this button here. That's basically it. So more minimalistic feature. And I don't show you the button that you have when you hover. So you have especially new button here and a lot of stuff like this. So really minimalistic, and I really like this minimalistic way of doing in Z. Same thing for the tab that we have just here. You can see that by default, we don't see the cross here. In the selected file, we have this few buttons just here, like this beautiful VS Code, but we don't have this bar, we don't have all of these buttons, we have only one button with the settings. When you click on it, you have some other thing. So here, when we click on it, we have the settings, but you see it's hidden. Instead of putting basically the extension button here, they put it here hidden from you, and you will not need them that much, you know? You don't open your extension every day. So why we have a button that we can clearly see in every page about this? So this is no sense. So this is the basic about just UI agency. We also have, if I show you some button here, so we have here the terminal. By default, the terminal is here on the bottom, okay? I move it myself here by default because I like to have my terminal here and my IDE here. We have the debugger that can be just here. So this is the basic debugger that you can imagine in any app. And we have the AI chat just here. So this is the agent equivalence. I don't really use it, but it's really interesting because you don't need to pay anything, because you have basically the settings. So here we have the agent settings where we can add any LLM provider. For example, I use my own API key for Google IA, and I can here use Gemini 3 Flash. That is a really good model. And here I can hide this and say, please check on this page. You can see that by default, it will use your cloud.md file just here, and it can basically make the tool usage that we have. Generally, it's really minimalistic UI. So if I ask the same stuff in Cursor just here, we can see that as always, we have a lot of buttons here. We have this chat, we have history. Obviously, I cannot use it. I think Composer is free. No, only GPT 4.1 is free. Okay, let's do GPT 4.1. So obviously the only free model, Auto is free. Let's use Auto. Boom. So when I make this query here, we have this agent button, this Auto, we can make more work tree, we have add context, browser, image, and close button. And here we have only two small buttons. We can choose the model. And if we want to make stuff, we have the power user hat. So this is the agent, but in reality, you will not use this agent that much. If you are a power user, you will basically use the terminal. So here we can have a lot of terminal. So you can see that I have one Cloud Code agent, two Cloud Code agents, some terminal, and here my server that is running. And you can ask Cloud Code to work on your code base without using this agent. But this agent is a nice feature. They make it really nice. You can also use the Cloud Code agents, external agents. So for example, here I just open Cloud Code. It's load Cloud Code, so it takes a lot of time. But here I have Cloud Code, and I can basically chat with Cloud Code, and it's use my Cloud Code subscription, the Cloud Code tool. So like make web search about caching, and it will use the web search tool, as you can see, of Cloud Code. So this is really interesting, and this is really smart for them. Continuing about the IA, they have their own compilation. So it's way worse than Cursor, actually. I hope it will increase. I hope it will be better with time. So here we can also see that this fucking Gemini that is not that smart. I didn't say it was smart. Make some shitty change inside this file. So we will restore the file right now to avoid any bug. But we have this auto completion tool that is way worse than Cursor actually, but it's make the job. So for example, talk and page URL mix. I can make here this talk and page URL. It will understand pretty much what you are doing. But Cursor auto-completion is actually the best in the market. But as the AI agent become more and more good, I actually doesn't use that much auto-completion anymore because I don't write that much code. I mainly ask Cloud Code to make the change. It's way faster, it's way smarter, it's way nicer. I can just enable my voice mode, blah, 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 and I just submit. And end of the game. This is the truth about my usage of ZID IDE. So this is the Git history view that I switched, so with shortcuts. So it's also one thing about that every button is so small that you don't want to use them. You will mostly use shortcuts. And here we can review the file with a beautiful UI. I really like this UI. They are working on a better UI. I see on their Twitter, but this is still really good. So we have the UI here. Boom, boom. We can see the change. Here we can generate the commit with IA commit. And I really like this UI because, for example, here when I commit, I can see the push instantly here. I can click push, it's push, and I can undo my commit by clicking here. I can see the main branch just here. So I don't know why I didn't add actually all the file. Boom. I can see the branch just here. I have the last commit I did here that I can undo. Here I have the rest of the button. So it's really easy. It's really working well and I really love it. So this is about the main view that we see together. It's really minimalistic, it's really beautiful, and it's highly configurable. So if I open my Z open setting, so now we have this beautiful dialog, but me, I really like settings.json. And as you can see, I make a lot of settings that we just have here. And these settings really work well. So for example, in the settings, I hide some tabs that I didn't want. And I, for example, show diagnostic here. So whatever I make a mistake, I can see the inline error that we have just here. So this you can configure, and you can configure really a lot of stuff. Hide some data, hide project panel, edit the font, and this is to show the error lens. So this is the error lens equivalent in Z. So you can do a lot of stuff, no need a lot of extension. If we check my extension, I basically have few extension. Where is my installed? So here I have a few extension like Prisma, like GitHub Dark, like Git Firely, but it's not that useful because the IDE is already so smartly created that you don't need that much new extension, okay? So this is really nice. The last thing I want to show you after this video will be finished is the usage. So for example, if I go in this component and I want to know where is used this server MDX, okay? This server MDX. I will write and it's open a new tab with all the reference. This tab is named references to server MDX. I can see here all the usage. And it's really crazy because in one view, I can see all the usage. If I do the same in a cursor or any fork of VS Code, when I click here, I have this view just here, okay? I think I can find a way to open it full screen. So this is not exactly what I want to do. And okay, I don't exactly know how to do it, but maybe there is a way. But as you can see here, I can see one of the usage. Actually, I see the current file. So it's really stupid because I want to see where is used this thing. And I see it here, but I need to click, a lot of click. Then, for example, I finally want to change this text. And if I leave, I don't have it anymore. And now I lost it. So it's really not that useful. Here, I can see all the usage of this server MDX that we have just here. I can change the code. So for example, I want to change this usage. I make Command D, and now I can update two files at the same time. You see, I am literally writing in two files at the same time that you can see just here. So this is really interesting. I can also come here, write Option Enter, and I go in the file at the precise spot where I want. And I can also increase the view just by writing Shift Enter. And now you see, I see more and more of the code. So I can really easily spot. And when I change file, I have this kind of file that I can come back to work on it, you know, so it's really a working directory. Same thing for Command Shift F for project search. If I show project search here, I have this view. So here I want to search server MDX. I write now all my server MDX, and it's the same. When I click, I get the view. So it's really nice. I can see the view of my server MDX is full screen, so it's pretty good. But if I want to search something else like, but finally, okay, now I want to see where I use this pros because I don't need this pros anymore. And now where is my server? Now I want the server MDX. Where is it? Okay, not good. You see, you cannot walk that easily. You can normally have a button somewhere, I know, open in editor, but as you can see here, if I edit the code, it doesn't edit the code, okay? It's edit the code only in this file. Here, I can make one search. So for example, I will search server MDX. Here the same, we have all the UI like this, where server MDX is defined. I can click on it, I can select, I can edit multiple files at the same time. You see here I select a lot of files and I can edit them the same way. And I really see the real code, and I can open multiple search. So for example, I write server MDX, I have all, and I'm like, now I need to know where is this usage. I will write it here and I will write command enter, and it's write a new tab with all of this. And I'm like, okay, but where is this dark pros invert use? Boom, command enter, and I get now the new. And you see, I have 3 search at the same time and everything work on the same place. So this is really interesting, and I found in general this kind of small feature that it's not a big deal, and you are not like, wow, Melvin, it's insane, I feel that I discovered a new world. I didn't say that it's like this, I just say it's a better experience. So this is my way, and this is why I switch to Z in general. As you can see, I really like the minimalistic style that we can have in Z, the theme, and I really like that I finally leave the ice slope ID race, because to be honest, I'm tired. Windsurf, try anti-gravity, Comet is a browser. Cursor, VS Code, blah blah. From this FOMO, everything something get out, you're like, wow, crazy, to Z plus Cloud Code. End of the fucking game. End of the game. Z and Cloud Code. This is my way. See you next time.